You always have a choice to either feel it and let it stop you, or feel it and do it anyway.
Welcome to the Words of Wisdom podcast. This is the place to be to raise the consciousness within in order to create a life and business of ease, flow, and freedom. This podcast offers inspiring stories, strategies, and special guests to help you become your most aligned self. I am Minerva Maharaj, a former NBA Toronto Raptors dancer turned ICF accredited spiritual life coach, founder of Goddess of Wisdom Spiritual Life Coaching, and Star Seed Academy coach training. My soul's mission is to show you the impossible is truly possible. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Let's get to awakening your soul's wisdom.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Words of Wisdom. Today I'm just going to dive right into it. I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and she was saying that every time she takes time away for herself, whether it's 2 hours or 3 hours to get her hair done or do something for herself, she always feels guilty and she feels like she has to hurry back and get home. And I totally resonate with that, having 2 kids myself and running 2 businesses. And I responded saying, as someone who does take time for herself, I still have those feelings creep up on me sometimes. At the beginning, it was more intense. The fear, the doubt, the questioning of myself and feeling the guilt. And then also allowing it to affect my decisions of how long I was out and if I was to get babysitting help or if I was to work or not work during certain times, and allowing other people's projections land on me. And I said, as someone who does take time for herself, I still get those feelings. And it got me thinking that you always have a choice to either feel it and let it stop you, or feel it and do it anyway. There's that quote of feel the fear and do it anyway, which didn't resonate with me for a long time because it felt very forceful and hard and just not an energy I just wanted to be in, just kind of like stressful and a shock to the nervous system. But now I understand it in a different light of feel the fear and do it anyway. So the 3 points I have here for you is that if you are feeling the fear, if you are feeling guilt, if you're feeling shame, if you're feeling whatever it is that you're allowing to stop you from doing and taking action and moving forward with whatever it is that you ultimately desire to experience and have and feel, if you're going to let that stop you, then you're never going to get ahead. And so I want to tell you 3 points here. Number 1, it may not ever go away. That fear, that guilt, that shame, that anger, that worry may not ever go away. So you have to feel it and do it anyway. If you're going to wait for it to clear, you're always going to be waiting to take action. You're always going to be stuck because it's always going to be there. Now, for someone who doesn't take time for themselves, it's going to feel that fear and that guilt is going to feel more intense, but it's not just going to go away on its own, or it's only going to happen sporadically when you feel like someone affirms it for you, that it's okay to do. You think the obstacle is out of the way. You're waiting for it to be safe and clear and some sort of external affirmation before you take action. And this is not just for self-care as a mom. This is for those business owners. It's for coaches. It's for anybody who's looking to do something more and actually desires something more for themselves. You're always going to feel fear. There's always going to be some sort of resistance that comes up. And to wait for that to clear before you feel different, before you do different, is a lie. It's going to feel like forever. It's going to be out of reach. It's never going to happen. Because I'll tell you that even after working through all of those fears and guilt and worries and limiting beliefs and ideas around self-care and momhood and being a business owner, I had to deal with a lot of that stuff from other people of, oh, you're working so early after giving birth, or shouldn't you spend time with your kids more, especially at the early stages instead of working? Now, mind you, I've created my business to just work about 20 hours a week. Yeah, there's some cases where I work a little bit more, but that's by choice. That's by desire. But I also desire to have space to rest. I also desire to have quality time with my kids. I also desire to have choice and freedom in my day, in my schedule, in what I do on weekends and evenings. I desire freedom. I desire quality time with my family. I desire quality time for myself. I desire rest. I desire so many things, and I made that happen. And not because it was easy and the path was made clear for me, is because I actually leaned into the fear and the reservations and the worries and the doubts and the limiting beliefs and the projections and the judgments and criticism from other people, those near and far from me. So here are some points I want you to consider when you are taking time for yourself, or making the next move, or desiring something for your life on a personal level or professional level, for your business, for money, for whatever it is number one, come to the fact that that fear, that worry, that doubt may never go away. It may lessen, it may lighten, but it will never go away. Every time I go to the next level in my business, in my career, in my finances, even in my relationships, there's always a new level to address. There's always a new belief or limitation that shows up for me that I thought I had addressed, but it's also like another level to it. I saw a meme the other day that it's like going to the next level is not just like climbing a ladder or the staircase that just keeps going up and up. It's like a staircase that spirals and it keeps going up. So just when you think you've dealt with that limiting belief, dealt with that fear, dealt with that worry, dealt with something of the past, it may come up again, but not in the same way. It's like a new level, a new layer keeps being revealed. And it doesn't mean that you have failed. It doesn't mean you should stop. It doesn't mean that it's not safe to move forward. So come to terms of may never go away. It's just going to show up differently. It's going to show up to help you deepen and go to a deeper level, which goes to my next point. Society beliefs, the conditioning from society, the conditioning from family, the conditioning from your culture, the conditioning from media, the conditioning is all around us, and we've lived with it our entire lives. And there's always going to be the conditioning. There's always going to be contrast. There's always going to be a contrasting belief or idea that's going to be projected onto you. It's always going to be there. So you've dealt with that conditioning your entire life. So to expect that to just go in one meditation and one journaling or with one coach or with one program for it to be abolished completely, and some things could go more quick than others, depending how deep rooted it is. But it takes time to decondition all of that. Society's beliefs, family beliefs, cultural beliefs, media beliefs. And as you level up and go to the next level, you may become aware of new levels, of new beliefs, of new restrictions, of new limitations. And within yourself, as you hit the next level, there's going to be a new level revealed within you that you're going to need to shed. That's going to be revealed to you as you go to the next level, because you're always going to be expanding. You're always going to be growing. You're always going to be leveling up. You're always going to be wanting the next thing. And that's okay. That's how you're meant to be. You're meant to expand. You're meant to grow. And for every level, there's a new level that needs to be shed within you, in your mindset, in your energy, in your body, because what got you here is not going to get you there. Right? So whatever mindsets and energies and habits and everything that got you here to this point served you to get you to this point, but it's not going to serve you to get to the next point, to get to the next level. And that's going to take some shedding and take some deconditioning and unlearning for you to do. So that's number two, is embracing that the conditioning has been there your entire life. And there's always going to be a new level of conditioning that you're going to have to decondition within yourself. So to allow that to stop you, to allow that to mean something about you, is just going to limit you. So if you can embrace it and reframe it and see it from a new lens, that the new level requires new shedding, new work, new deconditioning, It's okay. You're always going to feel what you're going to feel. You're always going to feel a little doubt, a little fear sneak in. It's a matter of how you handle it, how you frame it, how you perceive it, and what you allow it to mean. Number 3 is that when you do feel the fear, the guilt, the shame, the anger, whatever that lower vibration, whatever those feelings that come up that you have allowed to stop you or mean something about you or about your future and what you want, lean into it and look at it as a doorway of transformation. Every time something like that comes up, I'll be like, oh, there's a belief there that I got to work through. There's something there. That's what's restricting. That's my next step. That's what I need to work on. The inner work always, always continues. It never ends. You may have heard me say this time and time again. Look at the restriction, look at the lower vibrations, look at these feelings, look at the mindsets, the limiting beliefs that feel heavy, the fear, the worry, the guilt. Look at it as a doorway of transformation, that's actually the doorway to lean into, because that's where the growth and transformation and the shift occurs. Whereas the average person feels it and allows it to stop them. I mentioned this as one of my favorite quotes. Fear means forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. So you always have a choice when you're met face to face with fear, with worry, with doubt, with anything. You always have a choice to lean into it and deal with it, work through it, work through the mindset, work through the energy, shift it, do whatever you need to do to shift and clear and pull back the layers of the fear. Or you just allow it to be there and allow it to be that wall that stops you from moving forward in your business, in your career, in your money, in your relationships, and anything that you want in terms of your next level, whatever your next level means. The more you lean into it, the more you're going to learn about yourself, the more you're going to decondition what was conditioned into you, the more your truth will be revealed as you reveal the lies that were told to you, the lies that you bought into, the lies that you believed for yourself. So the more you actually lean into it, the lighter it gets and the lesser intensity it gets. So it's not always going to feel so intense, that fear, that worry, that guilt, whatever it is that you're feeling. It's not always going to feel that intense the more you lean into it, because you're going to learn the skills to deal with it. You're going to learn more about yourself. You build your strength. You build your resiliency. You build your wisdom. You build your skills in handling it. You build your belief in handling it. You build who you are by going through it. The only way around it is through it. There's no way to avoid it. If you sit and wait for the fear to dissipate, for the guilt to not be there, for the shame to go away, before you take action, before you do what you want to do, say what you want to say, be who you want to be where you want to be. If you're waiting for that to clear, you're always going to be waiting, because it's not going to go away. In some shape or form, it's going to show up. So you have a choice right now to lean into the fear, lean into the guilt, lean into the worry, lean into whatever it is, and find constructive, healing ways, healthy ways to deal with it. Now, some people choose, and now I'm going another level, which I wasn't anticipating going, but we're going there right now. Some people choose to go through those levels in a deconstructive way, in an unproductive way, in an unhealthy way, probably through being a workaholic, maybe through sex, through alcohol, and those seem like extremes, but we all have ways of dealing with it in an unhealthy way. For me, anger has been something that has been a driving force for me in my business, in my money, in my life, in my relationships. That was kind of like a fuel to move forward. And by leaning into that anger in an unhealthy, unintentional way, unconscious way, that led to certain habits and mind frames and mindsets and beliefs that got me so far, but drained me and didn't serve me for the long run and just depleted me. So there were unhealthy habits that were driven by anger in order to get me to where I was, or where I am, I guess you could say. But when I became conscious of that anger and learned how to channel it, understood what it meant, what was underlining it, the limiting beliefs that were underlining it, and dealt with the limitations in my mindset, in my belief system, in my what I believed about what I'm capable of doing and being, and what I believed about my worthiness, and all of that, all of the lies and all the limitations is what it came down to that I was running on. It fueled unhealthy habits and behaviors in my everyday life, how I run my business and my decision making. It was all coming from unhealthy places. And we all have that. And I share this to let you know that even as a spiritual coach, even as an instructor, even someone who's running two successful businesses, I still have that. And I'm still always layering and always uncovering a new layer and always deepening and always going deeper and further. And that's the thing. Every time I go deeper, the deeper I go, the further I go, the higher I go. And so I wanted to share that with you, that we all have unhealthy ways of dealing with things. But if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you're in the same spot, if you're feeling like you're not moving forward, then something needs to be changed. Something needs to be reassessed. And then you can still feel that anger and fear. Yes, I still feel that. But now when the fear comes up or the anger comes up for me, I now know how to approach it differently in a more healthy way. And I have the tools, I have the skills, and I deepen into it, whether it's my mentors or my affirmations or my meditations or exercises where I heal the anger, where I embrace the fear and do it anyway, but then I move forward in a more aligned, healthier, lighter way. The result is different. But I just wanted to let you know that no matter what level you're at, you're going to feel the fear, the worry, the anger. You're going to feel whatever you're going to feel. And it's not a reason to stop. It's not a reason to not move forward. It doesn't mean anything about who you are, what you want, where you want to be. If anything, it means, and I say this, and this is the way I reframed it to look at it, it means that I'm actually moving in the right direction because it was something that I wasn't aware of. It's something that I uncovered that is keeping me where I am and not where I want to be in terms of my next level. And so I now lean into it and I'm excited about it because I know I'm going to clear it. I know I'm going to get over it. I know I'm going to move forward. And I know I'm not going to go back to the exact same place. I may uncover a different level, a different lesson around it later on, and that's okay, but I'm going to deal with it. I can handle it. I have the skills. I am capable. I have the support. I always figure it out. And so I just want to present that with you today. So I hope this episode helps you. Just to recap that when you feel the fear to do it anyway, to recap the 3 points I shared with you here is have the expectation that it's not going to go away and that it's just going to show up differently and that it doesn't need to be clear. You don't have to wait for it to be clear before you take action. That's number one. Number two, you've dealt with your whole life of this conditioning from society, family, culture, that is fed into your mind, that has fed into your body, that's fed into your energy field, that is fed into who you are being in this moment. So it's going to take time to decondition that as you condition yourself into your next level, into your new reality, into your new being. So give yourself space, give yourself grace as you go through, as you rise. And number three, when you feel the fear, when you feel the guilt, lean into it anyway and work with it, deal with it, face it. Deal with the limitations, deal with the mindset, deal with the beliefs, deal with the energy. Most people run away from it, but this is an opportunity for you to lean into it and rise because of it and do the work. Don't be afraid of the work. If you are running away from it, you're going to be in the exact same spot where you are, and you're always going to feel the guilt. You're always going to feel the worry. You're always going to feel the fear, and you're always going to be exactly where you are, wishing and wanting more in your life, in your business, in your career, in whatever area of your life. So I hope this served you. Let me know. Send me a DM, send me a screenshot, and tag me at Goddess of Wisdom Coach. And for those who are ready to face the fear and do it anyway, or lean into it and not wait for it to be comfortable, but you're ready to start living and creating a soul satisfying career in your life, I have 3 exciting options here for you. Is number 1, I want you to go to starseedacademycoachtraining.com to get my free download of Amplify Your Spiritual Gifts, Amplify Your Impact and Your Income. So if you're trying to figure out what your next step is in life, you know that the current path that you're on in your career is not meant for you, but you feel like there's something more, go to starseedacademycoachtraining.com to get our free guide to help you identify what your spiritual gifts are and how you can use that to serve and to help others and to make not even just a sustainable living, but an abundant living. So go to starseedacademy.com to get my free guide to download that today. And for those of you who already know your spiritual gifts, you will still benefit from that. But also, if you are a coach, if you're a consultant, if you are a mentor, if you are in the soul service industry, I have a masterclass that is right now just for $22. So go there right away to get my 5 foundational steps to building a sustainable coaching practice. Now, again, this could be used for any consulting, mentoring, coaching type soul service business to get my 5 foundational steps to build a sustainable practice for yourself where there's a continuation of clients and income for you. My masterclass right now is just for $22 and it's going to go up to $55. So go right away as you hear this. Eventually it's going to be $33, $44, then $55. But right now we're basically giving it to you for 50% off. So go to starseedacademycoachtraining.com, online programs to get immediate access. And it's a class and a workbook and you'll get that right away and it'll work for you once you work it. It's foundational steps to help you get started and even to check into the points in your business to make sure those things are in place. And even if you walk away with one insight that you can implement in your soul-centered practice right now, in your soul service business right now, it's going to shift things for you. So go to Starseed Academy to get that. And last but not least, I want to share that our next cohort has been released for summer of 2022. So go to starseedacademycoachtraining.com to apply for a high-level spiritual coach training program. And we have a new pricing, new payment plans, and a new structure to help you build a sustainable coaching practice, learn the skills, learn the mindset, learn the structures to have an abundant business by serving people and changing lives. So I hope that all serves you. There's something there for you. If you feel it stir something in you, go to the site right now and the info is in our show notes. Thank you so much for listening. Sending you so much love and light.